Hey man, hey
What's
man,
going on?
we on the late night tip like 3 6
Yes,
Mafia, but
sir. Late night tip,
Yeah,
baby.
hey
it's like that
man,
nightcap.
Mm-hmm.
yeah man,
Mm-hmm.
we never sleep when we bring content to you. So we just gonna throw some ideas out there, man. A couple topics we had, a couple questions that
Right.
popped up during the day, and my boy Chris, we got my boy Recondo, a real Falcon fan in the house.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just a spectator tonight, but I'm definitely gonna give my thoughts because y'all see, I don't even have on my glasses, so I can't even see what the fuck going on. But
That's how it is, man. When it's that late
take
night
it away,
tip.
Chris.
Yep,
Hey, man,
yep,
you
yep.
already know. Welcome to the 95 North Sports Machine Forever. Chris Tipmore, Smitty, Antoine Smitty Smith, and we have our boy Recondo, real Falcon fan, joining us, man. About to break
Mhm.
down day 2 of Falcons tampering. You know what I'm saying? You know, pretty much we're 2 minutes away from the actual deals becoming finalized as it's going to be actual free agency. But wanted to break down a few things that happened today. Want to start with our new wide receiver, Darnell Mooney, who I will admit and be the first one to say, it took me a minute to warm up to this. At first, when I first seen this, I was irate. I ain't gonna lie, I was irate. I said, "But what Darnell? Who? What? He ain't." So of course it's the initial, and seeing what he had to work with and everything. But honestly, I've warmed up to it. I've had to sit down, shut up and think about it and actually go, look at some things. And since after I did that, I realized that Mooney is a good receiver. He's a willing blocker. He's a great locker room guy, and the guy can separate too. 3.1 yards per separation. 3.1 yards of separation. So
And that's that
yeah,
4-3.
yep,
Yep,
ran a
yep.
4.3. He had 1,000-yard season, and that was with a rookie Justin Fields. You got to remember they had Nick Foles and they had Aaron. No, I'm sorry,
Andy
Andy
Dalton.
Dalton. Andy Dalton. Oh,
And
and not
also Mitch
Mitchell
Trubisky was
Trubisky.
there. Yeah, Mitch
Yeah,
Trubisky,
that's
Trubisky
what I'm
there as
saying.
well.
Mitchell Trubisky. Listen
Hmm.
to those names that I just said. You feel me? That man had nobody going on. Now, yes, the receiver still has to do his job, but it's different than a quarterback because the receiver has to, catch the ball. I like this whole signing for many reasons, man, and I'm gonna get to a little bit more as he has a $2 million salary. It's only going to be a 7 mil cap hit. So basically,
Right.
it's another year deal. It's no guaranteed money in the third, and we can save 11 mil by cutting him if we choose to. If he's not, living up to the expectations of the Atlanta Falcons faithful and the team, the brand, the logo.
Hmm.
What do you
Right.
guys think about Darnell Mooney?
I actually love the move. I said we needed to get a guy that was good with run out to the catch, a guy that they could throw the ball to in space. He's going to be like a Taylor Gabriel to this offense. You can see him, in
Yeah,
screens, in short spaces. You can even see him on end around type plays because he has that type speed and that type skill set. Also, what people don't talk about, he could actually play kick return. And y'all know Avery Williams is coming back from a injury. We probably not going to bring CP back. So it's a need in that area as well. So as I look at it, it's an underrated move to me. And what I mean by that, a move that nobody's expecting, but with Kirk Cousins, you're gonna have these kind of weapons. You can't go
right.
all big names because guess what? You can't pay all those big names.
We
So
can't do
you're
it.
gonna have to make some sleeper type moves to bring this whole thing together. And trust me, we got a long way to go before the draft, and a long way to go before OTAs and training camp.
What about you, Condo?
Yeah, so for me, first of all, let's just talk about the player himself. And like you said, you look at the first two seasons, pretty productive season. Then you look at the last two, that's when he tailored off. 2023, I think he had like 40 some receptions, but DJ Moore had his best career seasons, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
Justin Fields probably target him a little bit more this past season, and I always look at, receivers and things like that. I kind of equate it to look at Kyle Pitts. You know, his first season, he have 1,000 seasons because he got a quarterback getting him the ball. Right now, everybody's wondering, you know, why his production's been the way it is. But it's all about, you know, who's the signal caller, man, who's getting the ball, how balls being, you know, how the game's being called, they being featured like they need to be featured and things like that. But if you look at Darnell Mooney, his skill set is really what I like about it, because his speed, being able to get over top, and that's clear to underneath for Kyle Pitts and Drake London, those guys. So and that's Kirk Cousins' specialty, man. You know, those intermediate throws in the middle of the field, 15, 20 yards down the field. Darnell Mooney take that safety off, and those guys right up underneath, man, be able to do their thing. So I like it. I like it a lot. Slot. He can also play outside. Yeah. And I mean, if you go watch, he go get the ball. He can actually catch. He's a pretty good receiver. So, you know, everybody looking at the price tag, but he's not getting paid like a number one. So
he
was just like they look at. I even was looking at Kirk Cousins.
I even was thinking about the price tag at first, but after the breakdown, man, Terry is cooking. I mean, that's all he's doing.
Number one's getting paid like 29, 30 million. Go look at Tyreek contract. Go look at Devontae Adams contract.
Right.
Those guys are number one. They getting paid like so.
We didn't pay number one money. We did not.
Right. He's not. So like I mean, money. Right. It pretty much is right. 13 million. And then, like you said, if you look at the reality of the contract, it can get out of it after probably 2 years. Won't it be a big deal? Yeah. So, like people, the cap, these guys know what they're doing with the cap, man. Trust me, they do. And Terry Funchino, he's been here. Especially. I mean, even the Kirk Cousins contract, the way he front loaded in the first 2 years, right? That pretty much that guarantee is going to be gone after that.
That's what I'm saying. Basically, 2 years, I was saying 90 mil, but you got to include the extra 10 mil for the roster bonus that he will receive.
That he received next season, right?
Yeah, he will.
Those after the first 2 seasons, man, that contract pretty much guarantees are gone. So, you got to look at it like that. So,
another thing, guys, I want to point out too is bringing in Darnell Mooney kind of answers a few questions too. If you really think about it. It's not going to be a dire need to go into the draft in the first or second round like that to really look for a receiver. You could do that depending on your picks, but like for all that wide receiver at 8 stuff and everything, I believe that the Darnell Mooney signing kind of kills that, and you can go bolster the defense, bulk up the defense, trade back and still add to the defense, whatever you want to do. I think it's time to put to bed that whole wide receiver at 8 scenario, because Darnell Mooney came in and killed.
What did I just say though earlier?
Oh,
this
I
mean, receiver 3. This is not a number 1. So
no.
In the draft, you could possibly still get a number 1 type receiver in the second round. So we far away from and that number 8. Hey, we still could get a receiver. Who knows? Because if Malik Neighbors is there, which I highly doubt. If Marvin Harrison is there, which I highly doubt, there's another receiver, Brian Thomas Jr.
Rome Dunze.
Yep. So Rome Dunze, Brian Thomas. So Rome would definitely probably be there, because as we getting closer, I'm starting to see the Giants looking at a quarterback. San Diego, they may trade out of 5. They not taking a quarterback. Arizona not taking a quarterback. So after the top 3, depending on how that fall, it's going to be a Rome Dunze or one of those guys on the board at 8. But again, you have to remember, I still think the Falcons look at offensive line at number 8. So it's just not guaranteed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like offensive line, honestly.
Tackle,
if we had to think about it, man, wide receiver, yes, get Kurt more weapons, but honestly, I'm on the whole offensive line or trade back. Protect Kurt. We need to protect Kurt. Or if you want to still get one of these wide receivers, I'm just saying, man, trade back. It's so deep, and I still believe if you trade back with one of those teams who may be thirsty for a quarterback, they may trade with you, maybe Las Vegas, maybe even the Vikings at 11. And you can still trade back and still be able to get a great wide receiver option. You still can do it. Like I would try that trade back thing. I'm really on the trade back train, honestly. But
And that's what I
one
might do on my mock. I was
yeah,
thinking about that because if you move
right.
up the board, you got to give up future picks, what they can't afford after signing these contracts.
Hello.
And also, if you trade back, you're looking at picks for next year. So depending
There
on
you
how
go.
far you move back, you could get picks and still get one of the guys that's on your top 50 board and in your top 10. So there's ways around it, but I could also see that trade back scenario. I think it makes sense. But Red Stallions forever. We cannot move pitch to wide receiver mainly because if he ends up being lined up as a receiver, well, not lined up as a receiver, if they change his position on the depth chart or anything like that, when it's time to pay him, he gonna get paid like a tight end.
You
And
got to get
I'm
paid.
sorry, like a wide receiver, but they cannot afford that. If he gets
Yep.
paid like a tight end, that's more than ballpark because guess what? If you go out and pay him like a tight end, it's $12 million probably like
Yep.
in a year. You
Right,
switch
right,
that to wide receiver, it goes from 17 to 20 million. So
right.
you got to think about
Or
things
more,
like that.
depending on the
Or
market. By the
more.
time it's time for him to
Right.
come up, because it goes up
Right.
every year. And that's
Yeah.
another
So,
thing too, guys. Oh,
so,
go ahead.
so for me, for number 8, man, you know, I still believe that the free agency is going to kind of dictate it. I know we're just starting,
Mhm.
you know, but I still think the moves they make in free agency kind of dictate this. All right, we pretty much lost all the big name pass rushers, but there's still a whole bunch of pass rushers out there. So, you know, they still got means they can boost up that pass rush, you know, without the big names, and they might not have to pay as much now. You know, Daniil Hunter off the board, Huff, Greenyard, also all those guys that we was looking at, you know, potentially they could have signed off the board in free agency, but I still think free agency is gonna kind of shape what they do in the draft. I still believe that, and they always the last 3 years Terry went best player available, so
Right.
at 8,
That's his formula.
yeah, at 8, man, it's still open for any positions. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because they could use a cornerback as well. They could use a cornerback. They could use a pass
I can
rusher. We
see
know
that.
that. You know,
I would trade
offensive
back.
lineman, like you said, they definitely can use an offensive lineman. Because there's some
Right.
good offensive linemen
Yeah.
up in that. And this is a deep class in receivers, offensive linemen, and of course, you know the quarterback's gonna go because that's just the way it is. So that's gonna the way this draft fall, like you're right, is gonna dictate a lot of decisions the Falcons might make at 8. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. They probably should move back because they can get a good player if they just move back to like number 11, where the Vikings at right now, right? Get some more draft capital. Maybe get that second round pick that we're not gonna get for Calvin Ridley now because they're gonna wait till after the they're gonna wait after
With the
deadline 4:00.
With the scale and
football.
the way the draft scale is, the only way that they could get a first and a second, they had to move back to 14 or 15.
Okay. So that's around the Denver Broncos. So like the Denver Broncos might move up, want to move to 8 to get like a JJ McCarthy or something like that, or a Bo Nix. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
I would make it a bidding war for sure. I would have a few
definitely.
teams calling up because what it is, like the Vikings, the Broncos, the Raiders, all of them are like right in that area. Yep. So I would make it a bidding war for number 8. May the best team win, and the best deal for the Atlanta Falcons and the Atlanta Falcon faithful win as well, guys.
Right. You're going to get a good player in the top 15, and no matter what, right?
You are. You really are.
Picking the top 15, you're gonna get a great player. So I mean, it still depends on what they do in the free agency, man. Because free agency right now,
to add to that, what you're saying, Recondo, you got to think too. There are gonna always be players that slip to the second and third round there with first round prospects.
It always happens.
It's plenty of talent. So.
Speaking of that, receivers, man, I'm telling you, it's gonna be some great receivers drop to the second round.
It is
because of this. Like I said, I think 7 offensive linemen might go in the first round, man. I believe 7 offensive linemen might go in the first round, and then quarterbacks, it might be like 5
linemen. Yeah,
I think
it might be like 5 quarterbacks.
Quarterbacks. I think I was saying 6. I think it may be close to 6 quarterbacks going in the first round. It's a very good.
Get a couple cornerbacks.
Top 3. You got the top three, and then you got Bo Nix, Michael Penix, J.J. McCarthy on the second tier. So yeah, it
Yep.
might be 6, depending on
Yeah, it
because
could
it could
definitely
be a
be
run
6,
on
right?
quarterbacks at the top of the draft, and it could be a run on quarterbacks in the middle of the first round.
Yep.
So
Right.
we'll see.
Just about wide receivers too. This Darnell Mooney signing also kind of indicates to me that the Falcons, I believe, want to give Drake London a real chance to show that he is the definite number one, that he is the definite guy. They want to send him a good signal. Yes, it's a business, but you still want to send your young players a good signal. And I believe the Mooney signing, instead of going after a bigger fish or drinking in a whole bunch of different receivers, actually sends a good message to Drake saying, hey, like, we believe in you to be our number one. We're going to put other pieces around you to help you be even more successful. And I believe it's a good message. So another kudos to the Falcons front office and Terry to be in specific. And also I got to give a shout out to Terry for attempting to go after Danielle Hunter, going after that big fish, being aggressive. The Falcons are being aggressive really the last 2 seasons. I absolutely love it. You know, got to give salute to Terry for doing his thing. We just didn't get it. You know, he signed with the Texans 2 years, 49 mil, 48 guaranteed I'm talking about guaranteed reasons to go to Houston, which is his hometown, by the way, and also no state taxes. Those factors in. There's nothing we can do about that. Terry did the best that he possibly could to bring in a significant pass rusher who has 87 and a half sacks and is only 29 years old. So
usually when they talk to clients, they really have their mind made up. The players do of where they want to go if they got a choice. But all they do is listen to offers, because that the way things happen, that let me know he had his mind made up on going to Houston, because the Falcons put out 3 years, 75 million, and the guaranteed money was probably about 45, 50. But that was added on
close to
another
what he
year.
was getting, But look at this. This is the crazy thing about what he did. 2 years from now, he'll be back on the market again, and he still ain't gonna be like 31. So that's smart, man. You get 49 guaranteed, 2-year contract, then you get right back on the market.
This year, next year, and then you right back.
Right. And then if he productive, man, he gonna get paid. You know, he's gonna get paid again. So
guys, I'm telling you, if he mess around and have 16, if he mess around and have 16 sacks. Just 16. I'm gonna go a low number for him. So 16 sacks in 2 years, he would definitely get another payday, like big payday.
They went to the Kirk Cousins school of getting paid, dog.
Indeed.
Yeah, and
he went to the Kirk Cousins school not old.
Heck, no, 31 ain't old, because guess what? We're monitoring a situation for a 33-year-old pass rusher that we need in Khalil Mack.
Hey, he had 17 and a half sacks last year, so and his defense and his defensive lineman is our new defensive lineman. So hey, you got to follow you. I like that, and they still is over the cap, so they got to 4 o'clock to get up under the cap. So they got to make some moves here with their receivers and they 2 pass rushers they got. So.
They might as well give Khalil Mack away for a Lunchable or something, because
I'm trying to tell you, man.
If you lose him and don't get nothing for it, I think that says a lot about your damn front office. They being stubborn. So even for a 5th round pick, I go for it, because guess what? You're gonna still get a player in the 5th round that probably can come in and battle for a job. They got a guy on their offensive lineman that was a 6th round pick. And he's been starting since day 1. So,
a guy that I wanted, by the way. Whatever. Slayer.
He got the other guy still today, but hey, it happens.
Right. I'm talking about for real. Guy.
Talk about the hits and the misses. Let's get to that.
The hits and misses. I mean, we know we about the. I must say, I'm happy that the Panthers lost Brian Burns. I'm happy he's out the division and we don't have to worry about him no more. If you look at it, we got to
play him this year.
Yeah. But that's fine. That's fine. It's not 2 times. It's not 2 times. So I can deal with that. And then after that, when's it going to be the next time we see him? You feel me? So I can live with that. I can definitely live with that, man. It's some names out there that I still want to check out, man. I would definitely like to check out still, if possible, maybe a Simmons. I think I really was upset about. I really wanted to add to the defense in free agency. And Simmons and Hunter was definitely on my radar. Of course, we know what happened with Hunter. I would definitely take Justin Simmons. But another guy that I would take, and this is kind of like a sleeper, and you tell me what you guys think about, is Witherspoon, who played for the Rams last year, cornerback.
I can see that.
And you can bring him in, plug him in, and be that cornerback number 2, and probably not have to pay too much money, because I'm pretty sure he would love to play with Raheem. I would take him or Jordan Fuller, just to add to that secondary, because we cannot afford to have Mike Hughes as part of our depth. I'm sorry. And that's another reason why the Darnell Mooney trade makes me happy, because it wasn't like the Panthers were going to take a 7-rounder and Mike Hughes for Johnson. So I'm just so hey, I'm happy with all that, man.
Background stuff. He says DJ Reader was released by the Bengals. Could be the best free agent pickup to fill the nose tackle position, and I definitely agree with that. As I said, Devondre Sweat would be my pick in the 2nd round, because he's a guy that can eat up space. He's going to help Grady. He's going to help that defensive line. He's going to help with the sack total. So you always need that big body in the middle of the defense. He can play defensive tackle or nose tackle. So I agree with that background stuff. But go ahead, Recondo. My bad.
Yeah, for me, I just think I agree with Chris, man. I think that the secondary is where they need to probably look at. I mean, for me, safety. I mean, I keep beating up on Richard Grant, man, but I think they need to upgrade the safety spot. They need to upgrade that spot, especially in he's a good tackling box safety, but in coverage, man, he just had too many big plays we missed on. So I think they need to upgrade that. They could do it in the draft, but it's a lot of. I think they can get some good safeties, defensive backs in this free agent class, because it's just so many out there that got released that you probably can get them on a good deal. So the cornerbacks in the free agency and the safeties in the free agency, where I think the Falcons need to look hard in. Xavier Howard's out there. You mentioned Fuller. You mentioned Simmons. I mean, all those guys still on the board.
Yep, I'll take Fuller.
It's a guy that I've been on for the last 2.5 years. Didn't fit with his former team and didn't fit with the team he got traded to. Isaiah Simmons. Nobody talks about his versatility, man. You talking about a guy that can play middle linebacker, a guy that can play outside linebacker, and he can play safety if he needs to. So you talking about a guy that's agile as hell. He's an athletic freak. Nobody knows how to use him, but you put him in the offense where defense where you can move him around, like a Michael Parsons type fit. I think Isaiah Simmons would be a great pickup.
Yeah, I'll take it. He definitely will bolster the defense, man. A guy that you could put on the linebacker, a guy that you can put on certain receivers, man. He's definitely a Swiss Army knife that you can bring in. And help this defense, man. Truthfully.
Yeah, you pair him with Jesse Bates. Yeah, you pair him with Jesse Bates, man. I tell you, man. I think that'd be a great for our defensive backfield, and it'll help the pass rush too. So, yeah, I like I said, we just got to wait to see what's going to happen, because now they got to clean up the cap a little bit after the 3 guys they already signed so far.
Yeah.
And we get the true numbers and things like that.
I think they're gonna cut at least 5 guys though. So
actually, I thought that was gonna happen before free agent, before this period started. But I think you're right. They looking at the roster, trying to figure out things, and I mean, because the only guy that I think could be safe is Lorenzo Carter out of those guys. That I thought they was going to cut.
That depends on Khalil Mack. They get Khalil Mack. Lorenzo Carter is gone.
So what about Calais Campbell? I think
I would love him back, man. But I don't know if he get back. Yeah, I don't know.
But price tag.
Yeah.
Price tag. With that, he got 9 million last year, I think. If he comes down to 6, yeah, I might think about it. But again, the way they structure contracts, yeah, it probably will be 3 or 4 million base salary. Who knows?
And see, and then I was also thinking about Taylor Heineke, man. Like I thought he was gonna be cut right away, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if you want to pay $8 million for a backup though. So
Yeah,
I
now
definitely thought Taylor was going to be cut, but
Not
so
with Jimmy
Desmond
G
Ritter's
going
going to
for
be our
6.
backup.
well, see, that's what I assumed, right? I assumed that he was going to be the backup, but he's still on the team, man. So
You had
Yeah,
to wait and see
Desmond,
what the landscape was going to look like. You
yeah,
don't
I
want to
guess
cut
they
him
had to
too
wait, make sure
soon.
they got the quarterback first. I get you.
Desmond Ricky deal gonna save him, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Desmond is going to be on the roster, and to be honest with you, he really can't. You really can't pick a better quarterback to learn under than Kirk Cousins, man. It's a couple
yeah,
guys, of course, you can pick better than him, but you're not going to get him. So with the situation that would had to unfold with us, Kirk Cousins is going to be the best thing to happen to Desmond Ridder. He's going to teach him the game. He's going to teach him the ins and outs, and hopefully he can help tweak some few things and maybe in his whole formation and his whole mechanics to help him be a better quarterback in the future, whether it be for the Atlanta Falcons or anyone else.
Kurt was a 4th-round pick.
yeah. I think, and you think about it, man. I think they said 38 backup quarterbacks played last year.
I mean, it's a real thing out there.
Yeah, you got it. That's why That's why I was thinking maybe they asked Taylor Heineke to restructure his deal or something like that, and he stick. But yeah, they got to get rid of that cap number. That's too big of a cap number to have him on the roster.
And
with Desmond Ridder.
And right now we have a cap number of $6.5 million after the Kirk Cousins and Darnell Mooney deals. So it's definitely some cuts coming. It's definitely some cuts coming.
Yeah,
y'all might not like.
I can see.
You might not like. That's the thing.
I think AJ gonna get his deal. I think that's gonna help, but we don't know. We ain't seen it yet. So, but they don't have a cornerback, so I think AJ they're gonna go ahead and extend him. That's gonna open up some cap space. You might see some trades.
That means Grady may be the odd man out then. It's just such a great cap saving.
I've been tugging with that. But you could be right.
I don't want him gone. We're just talking about the business aspect of it, that we may need the cap space. And remember, y'all, when we do draft these rookies, we do got to pay them a little something to play. So you still got to make sure.
I think the total of the whole rookie class is like 12 million, so it's not much. And the reason why that is they get most of their money in signing bonus.
Yeah,
that's what made Bijan the highest paid running back last year. He has $12 million signing bonus and only a $800,000 salary. So
that's why you see him out there in those good gyms and making headway too, man. Perfecting his craft too, man. I seen Bijan earlier, man, out there getting it in, getting ready for year 2, and that's what you want to see out of your players, man. Not all out in the clubs partying, popping bottles. We know you can do that. But what about your work ethic, though? And that's what I love to see, man. So,
I just for Grady, I just can't, because they don't have a replacement for Grady right now. So
no, you don't.
It'd be tough to because that'll be a big hole to fill.
That is absolutely true, Recondo. But since you don't have a replacement for Grady, if you draft a Byron Murphy after trading back, that would be a telling sign as to where you want to go. Are you going to let Grady play out his last 2 years here, or are you going to try to go get a pick for him and save cap space? So it's just something to think about, and that's why I said you just can't fall in love with these players because it's a business at the end of the day.
Oh yeah.
And family, y'all got to think about it. You can go get Sweat. You can go get Chris Jenkins. You can go get Brandon Dorless. I'm just naming a couple guys you can get, in this draft by trading back or staying patient. It's guys out there, y'all.
Yeah.
Like, for seriously, it's guys out there. And it's still some people who are out about Kirk Cousins, y'all. And if y'all give me a quick second here, I just want to talk about the whole thing with Kirk Cousins, because I understand he may be like the boring pick for a lot of people.
Right.
A lot of people wanted the young guy. I wanted the young guy. I was team Jaden Daniels, but as the plot unfolded, man, it just was no way we could probably get Jaden Daniels for real. So you got to take the safe bet.
Shout out to Atlanta GA Faithful,
Hey,
man.
shout out my brother. Yeah, man. Shout out to him, man.
Go ahead,
Check him
Chris.
out on YouTube. Now it's to check your boy out on YouTube, man.
Oh yeah, definitely
on YouTube, man. Check out his channel. Run up the likes, the subs. But yeah, man, you as far as Kirk Cousins, I know he may not have been the most popular pick. I understand he's been injured. I understand that he's considered old. But Kirk Cousins, man, I just want to tell y'all something. His stats over the last 5 years: 1,668 completions, 67.4 completion percentage, 18,967 yards, 141 touchdowns, 45 interceptions, 7.09 adjusted net yards attempt, 101.6 passer rating. That's behind Dak Prescott, Aaron Rodgers, Pat Mahomes. Also, he is fourth in completion percentage, fourth in touchdown percentage, and has the sixth lowest interception and the third in passing rating behind who? Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
I'm just saying, guys.
I had to put that out there.
Yeah. I'm seriously. And then, like, so for guys who are still like out on them, I just want to give y'all those numbers because y'all know I like stats. But anyway, I just wanted to give y'all those numbers and just something else to think about what we have in Atlanta and what possibly can be for Atlanta. Yes, we keep them upright, keep them healthy. We do our due diligence to protect him. I believe he still has that arm and that accuracy, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for yards after the catch, something that he can provide. We're looking for back shoulder throws, over shoulder throws. We're looking for ball placement, and that's what Kirk Cousins brings to the Atlanta Falcons. It's a reason why we're a sleeper now. But the real football fans and real football gurus are going to see exactly what the Atlanta Falcons are doing. We're slowly getting better. And at the end of the day, ain't that all you can really ask for is to get better? Did we not get better? Did we not just have Matt Collins? And now we got a Darnell Mooney. We actually went backwards. We went from a guy who had a high season and came down from a low season. Now we have a possible feel-good story, a guy who can regenerate his career with the best quarterback that he's had since he's entered his career.
Facts.
Yeah, I'm gonna simplify for you, man. For where the Falcons sat at number 8, and if you look at the quarterback landscape to what we was gonna be able to get, the Atlanta Falcons got the best quarterback that was out there. Just that simple. They got it because they wasn't going to be able to move up in the draft. That wasn't happening. Like, trust me, man. They did all these scenarios. They played it out. Like if you playing war games, you put it all on the table, and they probably went down every scenario they wasn't going to be able to move up, right? They couldn't go to the draft without a quarterback. That wasn't happening because then you're going to be settling it. You don't know. We just talked about who all might move up. How many teams probably could have jumped the Falcons in the draft, right?
Facts.
So I mean, they got the best available quarterback that was out there, and believe it or not, we're gonna finally get to see what Drake London and Kyle Pitts can really do. I mean, it's just that. So we're gonna finally get to see it, man. I believe those guys are uber talented, right? That's why they got picked in the top 10. But they ain't being able to showcase their talents, man. And you're gonna finally get to see that. You got a guy that, like, you just went over the numbers. Right. That's what he do. Look at the guys you talked about: Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Dak Prescott. All those guys, they put up numbers every year. That's what he's gonna do. So at the end of the day, like, we got to build a team. Don't put it all on one person, and I get it. Everybody's saying, well, he ain't did this. He won one playoff win and all that. But we're gonna build a team around him, and we ain't gonna ask him to do all that. That's what we're trying to do. This team is built already, and I believe it got a lot of holes. We ain't ready yet. They got a lot of holes
They
they
can
got to
fill those
fill.
in easy. Yeah.
But they fill those holes in, man, and let him do what he do. Let him do what he do, man. I'm telling you, you're gonna see something. So that's
And
where
then
I'm
you
at
gotta
with it.
think about this too, y'all. Kirk Cousins wasn't always working behind the best offensive lines and still putting up these
Right.
numbers.
Right.
I'm just saying, guys, that's just something to think about. I mean, I understand it may not be, oh, Tip, I don't want to hear that shit. I understand. But at the same time, the facts is the facts. The man did not ever have a good offensive line like that. And then we're just talking about since he's been in Minnesota. He's not having a good offensive line, but he's still putting up these numbers right here. Think about it. He has never had the weapons he will have in Atlanta. He never even dreamed of having a Kyle Pitts. Never even dreamed of a
I
running back
digress. I digress. And the reason why, last year before he got hurt, he was leading the league in touchdowns with 18. He had Jordan Addison having a awesome rookie year. You had Justin Jefferson before he got hurt. Then you had TJ Hawkinson putting up numbers. So he had players last year.
He don't have talent around him. He don't have talent around him.
I feel like it's going to be the best roster that he's going to have by the time this all fills out. I believe it'll be the best roster he's had. Just that running back core alone beats anything that they got running back there for them. I know they have a new running back now and everything, Aaron Jones, but still, I still take a young Bijan Robinson over Aaron Jones right now because of the upside and the injury history with Aaron Jones now. But I'm saying, like, just that running back core alone, he hasn't had nothing like that. He can just hand the ball off and watch them go, can use them out of the backfield however he want to with screens. You can use Darnell Mooney with screens. You can attack the zone with Mooney. You can attack the zone with Kyle Pitts because when he was in the slot in his rookie season, he was productive too. So I don't think he's going to be a wide receiver, but I think you still will see him in certain situations to set him up for success and unlock him as a receiver. And then Drake London, man, I just can't wait to see what they do with Drake London. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Me neither, man. I mean, and you know, you don't like to look at because they're not gonna duplicate exactly what they did with the Rams. But man, look how Puka Nacua came on the skins. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Man, so when Cooper Kupp got back, he was already there. I mean, how many had 1,500 yards?
1,700, I think.
Yeah, for a rookie, man, that's just amazing, man.
Hey, this is a good question right here, though. By it's so funny that he mentions this right here because I've thought about that myself. I said,
yeah, they could definitely still trade for him.
Yes,
because what you getting 3.2 as a backup, and next year you void the 5th year option. You resign him at a cheaper price other than the $25 million until he proves himself. You can sign him for about 17 to 20 for a year for about 2 or 3 years. If Cousins doesn't work out, then you switch over to Fields. By that time, but the reason why I had a problem with it, and I said it, when you talk about taking command of a team, that's not Justin Fields. When you're talking about anticipating throws, that's not Justin Fields. And when you talk about just simple things like going through progressions, that's not Justin Fields. So
when you need a play, when you gotta have it.
So that is why Kirk Cousins was the best decision possible because he can process on the field much better than Justin Fields. So at the end of the day, you got the top guy really in free agency this year, other than what's his name, Christian Wilkins. But other than that, you got the top guy.
Yeah, I mean, if we was in a different spot with this team, like still like in the building, it would have made so much sense to bring Justin Fields in. But man, Raheem Morris, second time being the head coach, he could not risk it, man. Like he can't risk it because he's not proven yet. He's his ceiling
still got a lot to learn.
His ceiling is high as hell, and he uber talented, but he could not risk it. He just couldn't do it, and especially when Kirk Cousins was on the table. Now, if Kirk Cousins wasn't there, go with it. But when you had a chance to get that guy, and you like, are we really gonna risk my first year head coach with a guy that still, like you just said, he got a lot of growth to do, man. He ain't ready
and he's
yet.
not the best fit for the scheme anymore. It's a new coach.
Yeah,
Right.
You gotta think about this. If it was still Arthur Smith, it'd probably be a totally different.
Scheme, perfect.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean,
a West Coast spread type offense, no. Because guess what?
No.
When you talk about West Coast spread type offense, you talk about a pocket passing quarterback. And if like Recondo said, when you listen to the press conference, Raheem Morris spelt it out in so many ways exactly what type of quarterback he's looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And the first two that came to my mind, Kirk Cousins is one, Drake May is the other. So,
fact. No, that's facts though. I mean, Cousins came to my mind immediately. Yep,
and honestly, when we first started this, man, I didn't think he was a real option. Be honest with you, that's why. I mean, I was on the field. I was like, they're gonna have to figure it out. They're gonna have to tailor the offense around him. That was my mindset. Well, like to your point, they're gonna have to switch it up. They're gonna have to do some read option. That's what I was thinking. I was like, Zach Robinson gonna have to change his offense up to fit Fields, But I didn't think Kirk Cousins was an option until about 3 weeks ago, and they started bringing it out. Like, oh shit! So,
but it makes sense because you're talking about, as I've said before, you're talking about one helping the other. You get a veteran quarterback that can run the team on the field, and he can also help the offensive coordinator grow into his role because this is his first time coaching as an offensive coordinator. So that makes his job easier. And two, if he sees something on the field he don't like, he's gonna audible it out, and he really don't care what the offensive coordinator have to say about it because he's the one who the field. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. So that's why
it's so perfect because, like you said, Kirk Cousins know this system. He pretty much been in this system his whole career. So, he was in Washington. Kyle Shanahan.
Raheem was there. I'm saying Raheem was there too. So that coaching staff was really loaded. It was crazy. We just didn't even know.
Think about quarterbacks who pretty much played in the same system. And I said this last night, and I know about. Look at Drew Brees, man. Drew Brees played in the same system. Peyton Manning played in the same system, right? They brought Tom Brady's system with him when he came to Tampa. You see what I'm saying? Those guys, they know the system so well, man. Kirk Cousins know this system, so he's going to be able to hit the ground running. And he can help teach the young guys the system too.
And I keep hearing about the Achilles injury, and I get that, but you got to remember he's a pocket passing quarterback. He's not going to be running all over the place. So it'll have time to heal. And trust me, they have a plan.
He's not Aaron Rodgers
in case he's not ready.
Yeah, he's not Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers will roll out that pocket and everything too. But that's always been his things his whole career, man. Kurt 3-step drop out. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of quarterback that he is. That's the type of quarterback that we have. And again.
They out on timing, precision.
Right.
Like you say, one of the most accurate quarterbacks. Don't turn the ball over a lot. I mean,
that's what we want. We want somebody. If I'm just saying, look, guys, think about this. If we had Kirk Cousins immediately after we had Matt Ryan, or what we would be. Just our offense. Just our offense, y'all. Even before we got all the weapons, just with dealing with what he can deal with, we still would have times to where we have competent quarterback plays, and we have a guy who is reading the field, reading the defense, and like Smitty said, he's in the offense that he's familiar with, and he's backing out of any plays that he's like, nah, I don't like that, Zach. Nah, I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it like this. I'm not taking over your show, but I am improving it because I know what's going on. And I can help you process things and make you a better coordinator. So it's going to be hand in hand. And let's just be honest, Justin Fields coming in here. And I know, because I even mentioned it about having the multiple quarterback coaches. You're really not going to need that much guidance for Kirk Cousins. You would have needed all the guidance for Justin Fields. And I have to admit, Jaden Daniels, because they have to come in, learn the offense, and you have to fit it to their mold. So it's easier. Of course, I still wanted Jaden Daniels. I still wanted a young guy to come in and mold, and he become your quarterback, not get another retread or recast away. But I can tell you one thing. you can call Kirk Cousins a retread because I have and everything, but that's a pretty damn good retread, though. I'm serious, and that's one of the best quarterbacks that you've had in franchise history as well. Matt is still at the top, but Kirk Cousins, I'm just saying, he's in Falcons franchise history now, so you got to put him up there as well. We're gonna see what he does for us, though, to really earn that title. But on paper, they already gonna put him in because they're already talking about it.
I mean, everybody just know he gonna put the ball in the playmaker's hand, man. That's all we wanted. That's all we've been for. That's it, man.
My boy Wallace makes a great point. If people would have listened to Zach Robin press conference, he told you in what type of quarterback that he wanted, and Fields did not fit that criteria. And that's exactly what I just
did. He never did.
I mean, if you think about it, you're right. He described him pretty much. And then Raheem Morris did too. You know, in his press conference, his introduction press conference,
right?
You know, somebody that's precision. He's the same thing. They both describe. That's what you want. That's what you got.
I like the fact that they're keeping their word too, and keeping everything as a collaborative effort too. They're all sounding alike when they talk. You know what I'm saying? They all say when they say what they want, they're all sounding alike. D, what up?
What up, Smitty? What up, Chris? What up, Recondo?
What's going on? You know what I like, man? I like the fact that nothing get out the building, dog. We don't know what the hell going on with that. I like that. When that happens, we all be surprised. You like, damn.
Right.
It gives you something to look forward to.
Nothing leaks out, man.
Front office was predictable. If our front office was predictable, it'll be a little boring. I ain't gonna lie, it'd be a little boring.
But let's get this super chat out the way. Georgian, thank you for that super chat. Appreciate it. What is the downside of signing Tyler Boyd? He's still having a bull 600-yard season. We'll start out with DC. What you think about that, DC, signing Tyler Boyd?
You know, I thought about that. I mentioned that to my son earlier, but what is Boyd's age? How old is he? Do y'all know?
I can look it up.
I mean, I think he's getting up there, and I think this last season was like one of his worst seasons. So I think I'm not too hot on Boyd. I mean, we got London, we got Mooney.
He's 29.
He's 29. Okay, so he's still good age-wise. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think he would add, that spark that we really need. That other, big-time receiver. I don't think he's that guy.
Yeah, I think to me he's closer to Drake London than Drake London is. So you really got the same guy in Drake London already.
Yeah, we already got that. We don't need that, man. I'm gonna throw in a little small nugget that you guys may need to factor in too, as far as like free agencies, players being signed, and everything. Have you noticed that most of the guys that's on this team are being linked to this team and everything have the same agent, Mr. David?
Yeah, it always works like that.
Yeah,
it always works like that. That's why Jesse Bates is here now.
Jesse Bates, AJ Terrell, Kyle Pitts, Darnell Mooney. You know what I'm saying? All of those guys he represents.
You can add Justin Fields to that too.
Yeah, indeed. He does represent Fields, and he also represents T. Higgins. Right. So that's another guy too that I don't know what his price tag, what he's asking for. I know he wants out. And I know what they gave him. Was it what was the franchise tag? Was it 19? Was it 19 million?
Wide receivers, I think it was 20 something. I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, but
T. Higgins he want wide receiver one money.
And see, I don't need you to try to come in and get wide receiver one money. So that's why you won't probably be here. So
that's what he want. And that's why I think they might have to deal him because we know Jamar Chase gonna get it, and I don't know if they can pay both receivers wide receiver one money. I don't know if they can do that. So.
Nah, there's only one wide receiver one over there. His name is Jamar Chase. Yeah, so you're gonna have to definitely pay him and take care of him handsomely. And the same thing with a guy like Justin Jefferson, man.
That's the key to Joe Burrow in Cincinnati is that wide receiver there. If he's gonna keep anybody, he's gonna keep Jamar Chase. And you got to think about it. Bengals have always been one of the cheapest teams in the league. So you had to see this coming. He said they hadn't talked about a contract since March of last year. About a year.
Yep.
So
Yes.
I mean, that's why they lost Jesse Bates too. And you're right, they cheat, man.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
franchise-
Don't get me wrong, I'm happy. But yeah,
Oh yeah, definitely happy.
Let me ask y'all a question, chat and the panel. Like, do y'all feel like the Atlanta Falcons are like going all in, or do you feel like we still just going just to get into the playoffs? Because I really don't feel like we're going all in for some reason.
I feel like we're being aggressive, but
Yeah.
going all in would be real deal, not no Twitter fake people or none of that mess, man. Because there's so much mess and crap and cess on it's a cesspool on Twitter, man. But seriously, you would see real reports about them, just like how you did about Danielle Hunter, about a guy like Justin Jefferson, you would see them linked to so many different names about them just going out and spending. I understand that Arthur gave them the go ahead, but they got the most important piece. They got the quarterback, and they tried to get another important piece in Danielle Hunter. So the thing about it is, that they eyeing pass rush, they eyeing defense. So it's still gonna be some defensive moves to be made and everything. But as far as like all in, I don't think that we are going all in. I just think we're being aggressive, and I think we're gonna make some moves and look forward to the cap next year as well.
yeah.
I think you got to be. They are going aggressive, because if they weren't, they wouldn't have gave Kirk Cousins $180 million.
Indeed.
You look at the move that they missed on Danielle Hunter. He went to Houston. You look at
But they almost had him. Seriously.
You look at the way that they're probably going to do the draft board. They're going to bring in a Khalil Mack if they can, to work with the guys they already have. And if you bring in a Dallas Turner to help this pass rush, Khalil Mack is going to rub off on all those guys. So they're going all in. There's no way around.
Yeah.
And they've been going in the last 3 years, to be honest. Look at what they've done in free agency. Look at what they've done in the draft. So with the skill position, they've got top notch the last 3 drafts. And it's not only the first round, it's been all round. They've been aggressive. So that's the way Terry Fontenot builds teams from his time in New Orleans. They were always aggressive. They went out and got a Drew Brees, a Michael Thomas, a Reggie Bush. So they've always, he's known how to acquire talent. And don't forget, he still has to look in the CFL too, because guess what? He got D offer from the CFL. So we are a long way from being done. So they're going to keep putting parts around Kirk Cousins, and they're going to keep putting parts around Grady Jarrett and Jesse Bates until we don't have them no more. So they definitely go.
I can feel that.
So I think they're going all in, but I still think it's balanced. And one thing different.
There you go, Recondo. There you go.
One thing between Terry Fontenot and Thomas Dimitroff is Terry Fontenot is hidden in the draft. He hidden in free agency. Thomas Dimitroff, that's where he killed himself, man. Because you to build a team, you got to do it both ways. You got to have the veterans when you bring in, and you got to hit on those veterans, right? But you got to be able to draft your young talent too and see them progress. And that's what's happening. So we going all in, but it's not just going to be for a year. I mean, they can sustain, because that young talent that's here, like you said, those guys we hit in the draft, they going to be here for a minute, right? So that's why I like the balance. So they going all in, but
I like that.
He's doing it the way he's doing it it's not like you're going to get a whole bunch of old, like the Rams did, right? They went and got Von Miller. They went and got cornerback, right? They went and got Stafford, right? And then now they rebuilding already. They won the Super Bowl, which we all love winning the Super Bowl, but they already starting over again. They still got the quarterback, but
they were back in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, right already. Yep, they already back in the playoff again. So
they were just there last year. So I mean, when everybody wrote them off, though, a lot of people was writing them off. Stafford was hurt. They had some guys banged up, but they was able to put it together, and that's just a testament to the coaching and the players.
And he hit in the draft. I mean, think about it. They didn't have a first round pick since 2016, but the guys they drafted in those later rounds, they hit on those guys, man. That's why they back in the playoffs. that defense Raheem Morris had, all those guys were young, man. They still had,
because
Aaron Donald
the
there.
Rams had
All those other guys was young, man. And they hit
the
on
Rams had a defensive lineman that had 10 sacks this year, and he was an undrafted free agent.
Right.
So,
That's what I'm
So
saying.
that's what I'm
They
saying. Like,
draft well. They draft well. And of course, you don't pay Kirk Cousins what you do pay him if you're not going all in. So it is all in, but I like what you said, Condo, because that's what makes it feel like it's not all in because how balanced it is. So I like the way that you articulated that about how balanced it is. Because I think that's why I feel aggressive over all in because it's so balanced. And that's a shout out again to our coveted GM and our new head coach. And so I enjoy it. And
you can see a guy like Zach Harrison. He came on at the end of the season, right? So you expect him to be better. I don't know what they doing with D'Angelo Malone, man. It's like
I've been saying Malone name for 2 days.
It's something he just wasn't picking up. It's just something he just wasn't picking up.
I don't know, man. Like
we gonna see because it's the scheme. It's the scheme that he was drafted for. So we about to see something this year. Either we gonna see him play or we gonna see him cut. We gonna see him gone. It's something because
Quan Graham, he gonna have to step up too. You know what I'm saying? Got to see more out of him.
I think Zach Harrison took his spot. So I don't see him coming back. If he still has 1 year, I think he gets cut.
What about Ogundeji?
Oh, I think he getting cut, man.
He's got to be. He was gone last year. He's got to be gone.
Honestly, the IR saved him. By him going on the IR, I think he would have got cut last year if he went on IR.
He remind me of Senate. Remember we had a he remind me, boy. I'm talking about. I thought he was going. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I was just reading this question. I think we could get, a quarterback maybe in the later rounds, just as another backup plan. But I did want to express my concerns with Kirk Cousins. Like we all know, like the same concerns with the age, and you could fall off that cliff right there. And the Achilles injury. My thing with that, what really has me unsure about this, guys, is because when you're a quarterback, you're always on your toes. It's not so much about like scrambling, being like a Russian quarterback, but that Achilles, man, you're always on your toes, and it's on his foot that he plants with. He's got a decent arm, but it ain't like a crazy strong arm. So if that thing don't heal right, some of those passes, you know what I'm saying, they might not have
They're gonna float.
Like I'm a little concerned about that with Cousins right there.
Understood.
The other major
you have to be concerned with that. You do, especially his age.
Tackles on either side, Matthews and McGarry, man. If you got some birds coming off the edge, that ain't gonna go well. I mean, he got to get it out quick. You know what I'm saying, as quick as he can. And I just don't know, man.
I understand the concern. A 36-year-old quarterback coming off an Achilles injury. Achilles, not ACL, because I don't see some wild stuff on the internet, but an Achilles injury he's coming off of, and you got Stone feet on the right side and the Lone Ranger who's getting long in the tooth, and it's about time for him to go ahead and retire his sheriff hat on the left side.
And then he's getting all these big bags too. Because he's getting them bags, and he's done just enough to earn them, but he's always at the right spot at the right time. And I'm gonna rock with my team no matter what, and I'm gonna rock with Cousins. I hope he come in here and get us a chip, but it is a little concerning to me the more I think about his age, the injury, our offensive tackle. That's why I think they might look at that in the draft.
But y'all do know that the Falcon doctors probably have done a medical check on him to see where he's progressing in, and healing. So I think they're gonna keep faith in that. Then he's put out videos that he's moving around, throwing as well. So he's almost there, even though it takes roughly 12 to 18 months for it to heal fully.
Right. But it was crazy though, because Aaron Rodgers was running around after like 75 days.
Right. Yeah, but who knows if he goes back on that field, he go back to step on that thing again, and
never know. That's the question right there. Jets fans, they look in the same way that some of us may be looking. I mean, I feel like he's going to be all right. I think we're going to make the right moves to be able to protect him. But of course, that's still yet to be seen. but we're still having hope. But the Jets are the same way. They like, man, we hoping that he come back and that Achilles hold up, and he's older than Kirk Cousins.
Well, I mean that's why I believe it won't be completely just drop back pass. I think we got to utilize our running backs too. So
1000%.
Yeah, I mean, so I know a lot of people saying 11 personnel, a lot of drop back and stuff like that, but I mean, you got to play to your strengths too. And
we got running back
with all his flaws, he's an excellent run blocker. So let him fire off the ball and run block some too. Loosen up some of them pass rushing, man, and play off that play action. I think that'll help too. So, we won't just be completely drop back. I want them to just open it up a little bit, but you got to use your running backs, man, because you still got two-headed monster back in the backfield that both of them can give you 1,000.
We're gonna cross our fingers, and London and Pitts should eat now. Now, Kurt will deliver the ball to London and Pitts with no problem.
Yeah,
especially in the red zone.
It's an Algier too. So
you better listen to me. That's what I'm saying. And he's accurate on the deep ball. Hello, Darnell Mooney.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, man. Like I'm just saying. He's like,
I'm so excited about that. I mean, when the last time it's been so long we had somebody that can deliver the ball, man.
Hey,
I mean,
man.
Kyle Pitts opened so many times deep, could never get the rock.
Yep. He'll either be underthrown, overthrown. So it just wouldn't be right.
Yeah, it wouldn't be right.
Yeah, consistency. Yep. And you used to see it on the field, man. You used to see some guys would cut those routes short, or they'll stop running the routes. They'll either cut the route short because I'm about to get killed, or they just know they're not going to get the ball. He's not going to go through his progressions to get to me right now, or not as often. I'll say that because
right. Can y'all help me with this? I'm trying to understand that Warner, that move we made, because I thought that was going to be Fitzpatrick that was going to snag that rock.
That blocking tight end,
yeah, blocking tight end. You got two blocking tight ends now. Now you can free up your guy. That's another reason why John New had to bounce, because we need to see what our fourth overall investment can do. So in order to do that, we got to get guys out of his way. So another blocking tight end plus depth. We always need that. So you're going to have those two guys there. Kyle Pitts can be able to kind of roam a little bit better, but you still will see Kyle Pitts in some tight end work.
You see where he came from? He came from San Francisco. So like I said, I think they're going to run the ball, right? They're going to run the ball.
You got to still run the ball. That's one of our strengths. We got all these running backs.
Yeah, but I agree. I thought Fitzpatrick is a great run blocker, man. Well, we don't know because he ain't had this opportunity either to get on the field. So, but yeah. I mean, I understand why they did it, but I mean, it was a cheap deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm saying it's not taking anything out of us, man. It's just really again, what more can we ask for from this Atlanta Falcons franchise other than to get better? And I'm sorry, on paper, we're getting better. But we also got to remember, too, when you get rid of people and cut people, every year the market goes up. So you're going to have to pay those people a little bit more than the people that you cut. So I just want to prepare people for the possibility of seeing somebody you don't want to see on this team next year because of the contract. Desmond Ridder, Richie Grant. I'm saying they're favorable contracts. And from a business standpoint and a money standpoint, those guys may be used for depth purposes, and you still go get some folks in the draft, So just some other things to think about. I don't want those guys here. I don't want Mike Hughes here. But if it's for depth purposes, and that's the only place we can go because of how the market is and players being gone, what else can we do?
And you got to think too. Jerry Gray brought him in, and Jerry Gray is still here. I feel like, they need the cap space, so I think Mike Hughes is gone as well. Because they can save about $4 to $5 million on him. So they can take all the money they can get.
Those 5 guys you talking about, I think they can get it about $16 million.
Facts.
They need that. They need that $16 million too. And
man,
then they do
everything.
restructure Chris Lindstrom and Jesse Bates. that'll give most. And I'd say
Yeah.
those two guys, because those two guys, got long-term deals. You probably don't want to touch Grady contract. You don't want to touch Jake Matthews contract. But you can get J.C. Bate, Chris Lindstrom. You get up
Jared
by
ain't got
20.
no guarantees left, so
Yeah, he
you
don't.
just
You just be pushing it to the right. Yeah, so
yeah.
Do y'all think we get another? Do y'all think we get a cornerback in free agency, or are we just gonna stay with what we got and try to get one in the draft?
I still think they need a veteran. I
Yeah,
still
I
think
do
they need a veteran corner.
yeah.
I'll take
I mean,
Witherspoon, man. I'm telling you. I'll take
And
him.
they didn't want Jeff Okuda, man, because he signed for a cheap deal.
He went home.
Yeah,
And he was still hurt, so
Yeah, he went home.
Yeah, so they didn't want him because he signed for like what, about $4 million?
Man, like 4. I would have did that.
Three.
Yeah,
like
they could have got him back. So
Yeah, I would have
Yeah.
did that. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah,
What about
Kudos
how much-
with the Houston Texas. He went home, just for anybody in the chat, man.
Yeah, and you got to think, man, his injury history caught up with him late last year, so they probably, banking on him. He got hurt last year. That just might be him, injury prone. So you can't waste $4 or $5 million on a guy like that.
Facts. I'm just saying, you just cannot do it. But like I said, I'll take Witherspoon. I did like my guy Darius Williams, but I know he just recently got picked up too. But just other guys that can fit into this system. I'll even try to see if I can snatch Fuller from is it Fuller or Fulton? I think it's Fuller from
Fuller.
Washington.
Fuller.
Yeah, from Washington. Because Washington, they've been loading up. I wouldn't mind stealing a piece from them.
Gilmore.
What about
Gilmore's out there. Gilmore's out there.
Yeah, Xavier Howard's out there too.
Now I'm looking. I'm like, no, probably not. But I mean, he's been productive. Gilmore still has, but
yeah, he'll be a solid number 2. Gilmore will. So, but he lost the step speed wise, but technique wise, he's still one of the best, even at 32 years old.
Right,
Hey,
right.
I appreciate y'all. My phone's about to die. I'm gonna jump back in the chat and put it on the charger. All right.
Okay, no doubt, my brother. Appreciate you.
Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man, we've been waiting to get D on here for a minute, man. So glad that he was able to come out here, man. That's ATLGA Faithful, and
please go check him out on YouTube, please.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
I love our community, man. We passionate about our Falcons, boy. I love it, man. I love it.
That's what we gotta be, man. Like this, we on the late night tip show, man. And we actually are glad that everyone came through. To be a part of this show. We know it's late; it's 1:00 in the morning, but you guys are Falcon fans and football fans, and we know sports never sleeps. So why should we? Right? We're pulling an all nighter, right, Smitty?
Hell no! I got my glasses. I ain't even got on my glasses. I can't even see that shit you talking because I ain't got on my glasses.
See what I'm saying?
Man,
I tell you what. Here's mine. Yeah, man. Seriously though, but guys, on anything you guys else want to add? I know we've been running for like an hour. I know it's 1 a.m. I know we still
I just want to say one thing, man. If you look around the league, man, some teams making some great moves. It's gonna be It's gonna be an exciting season.
We're gonna have to do a free agency show, man. When all the dust settles, when we all can get together and talk about the moves being made, who got better, who got worse.
It's a lot of moves out there. And I was like, wow, that's a great move. That's a great. Like, I'm happy. None of the moves being made in our division. See what I'm saying?
I feel like we've gotten stronger and other teams are getting weaker. I think.
Right, but you look at around the league, man. Like the NFC East, that's gonna be tough over there, boy. Woo.
There's a name right there that I would be intrigued by.
It's an interesting name
because you talk about the last 2 places he's been, he hadn't survived. So now he's probably out just fighting for a contract. So you probably can get a veteran like that for cheap. But if we can get him for a cheap price, an affordable price, I say why not?
Yeah, that's always what it's come down to, that price with certain guys like him. I mean, he definitely he's already gotten paid. And like you said, his last 2 stops, it's not been fruitful for the man, JC. So if we can get him for cheap, I will definitely take it. I won't, I won't, turn it down. I won't turn it down. No. But I will say this.
Go ahead.
will say this. If we trade back and we need a corner, I'm going to get Quinyon Mitchell. Going to get Quinyon Mitchell. I really like the guy. I've been narrowing down my cornerbacks and everything like that. He's definitely in my top 5, along with other guys like Max Milton, along with other guys like Tyree Jackson from Oregon. Well, of course, Arnold from Alabama. But honestly, for what we're trying to do, Arnold is good, but I like Mitchell just a little bit better, man. I think he's a hard noser. I think he's going to get up and get after it. And pairing him with AJ and Clark Phillips, I think you got something, along with a veteran. Bring a veteran, maybe Witherspoon, Jackson, whoever. Bring in a veteran to help all that. But I think you guys can have. I think we can have something, y'all. We can have something we can see.
I think Mitchell might be the first. He might be the first corner off the board, believe it or not.
Hey, I can definitely see it because I have him over Arnold personally, but yeah. I understand what the scouts and everything see because Arnold has smooth motion. He's fluent and everything too. So
yeah, don't forget about Wiggins now. Wiggins, that boy fast.
Nate got. Yeah. I know we haven't seen a lot of work from him because I know he got injured after that run.
Yeah,
but the crazy thing is, I saw on Wiggins. One of my boys, I was on his show last week, I think it was, and he said Wiggins is a better receiver than a cornerback. So you getting a ball hawking defensive back that knows how to play both positions. So Wiggins could be someone to look at.
Yeah, you pair Wiggins with AJ, 2 Clemson boys coming back right there.
Right. And the thing about it is he even said that. I'm glad you brought that up because I do remember now an interview with Wiggins, and he did say that, it's about being a wide receiver and how much it has helped him so much to be able to read things and it's the route running, the route tree. He recognizes so many route trees that it's easier for him to be a corner, and he actually has hands because he used to be a receiver. So
just like Trayvon Diggs. Just like Trayvon Diggs. Because Trayvon Diggs used to be a receiver. That's why he's such a ball hawk.
Good pool. Exactly.
The same way. Yep. So before we get out of here, man, so what y'all think? You think we're going to go after the boy Chargers? We're going to get him? He next?
Yeah, they just wait to see if they're going to cut him or trade him. If they cut him, the Falcons might get first shot because I just think they offer more with what they've brought in and what they have team-wise. The only other team I can think of is probably a team like Dallas. But other than that, I think they're just trying to wait to see what they're going to do. If they trade him for a 5th-round pick, I think the Falcons in it. If they cut him, Falcons still in there.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. And I would love to have Matt because we need a game record, man. We need a game changer. We need a field flipper, whatever you want to call a disruptor. We need it. We need to build off of what we had last year. We cannot afford to go backwards. No, you don't give me a top 10 defense. Don't you go backwards on me. I'm saying for real. Don't you do that.
I even said this, man. Like shit. If you got to just bring back Calais Campbell and Bud Dupree, do it. Like, don't go backwards, man. Like, shit.
I would rather have something familiar than to go backwards with randoms.
Yes.
And
man, I'm saying you just bring back those guys. I mean, we had 42. Damn, sacks, and they was our 2 leading sackers. So I mean, shit. If you can't get somebody else, man, bring them back. Shit. So
here's a good question: do y'all think it's a make or break year for Terry Fontenot? I say yeah, because even though he's still here, Arthur Smith almost cost him to lose his job, and I think Bill Belichick saved his job. So I think it's make or break for him because you going out spending $180 million on an older quarterback. He's giving you the keys to the Ferrari, so you got to drive it in the right direction. So absolutely.
Yep, I absolutely agree. Same reason.
You got to deliver, baby. You got to do it.
That's why you make the moves you make, because you're trying to show, first of all, that you're more than just a competent GM, that you really is a shot caller and you can make moves, that you really, you're a problem solver. We need problem here, you solve it. And this is your first real year to run your show. And I believe he's doing well, but it's definitely a make it or break it. Because if
Right.
this don't work out, and if Kirk Cousins is not the 18-5, if Kirk Cousins is not the guy that all those stats that I read to you before, it's going to come crashing down right on Terry's head.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's going to be a lot of people kicking him up out of here. I'm sorry.
But
as much as
I
we
can
love
say
him,
this.
now, yeah,
One good thing about Terry Fontenot is that if you look at the structure of his contracts, you know, we won't get back in cat hell. That's one good thing, because it's these 2-year deals. You can get off and up on after 2 years, right? And you
Get up
still
and off.
should be able to pay your young guys here coming up soon. So, man, they doing this cap. I love it, because everybody looking at the number. Like, you look at the number, man. Look at the guarantees and see where the money, like, coming out, where they're going to be at the first 2 years and things like that. That's
Right.
what you got to look at. Look at those numbers. Then you'll see, you know, like how he putting his cap together. Jesse Bates' contract last year is front loaded. It's front loaded, man. Like that's what they doing. They front load these contracts, so you towards the end, you know, you still can pay your young guys, because that's where it's gonna hurt you when you got to start paying, you know, the Drake Londons and the Kyle Pitts and shit like that. That's where it started to hurt you.
And
They gonna get
the last year of these long-term deals, the dead on the cap is always the least on that last year.
exactly.
So,
Yeah,
you
he's
can
doing
move
a
on.
phenomenal job in that. So
But again, like Smitty have said, like we've heard other places, like we've all said, shoot, salary cap, that's that man's specialty.
oh
So,
yeah,
you know, so the thing about it, he's going to play it well, and we just need to sit back and watch and see exactly what moves he makes for our Atlanta Falcons. I believe he's doing a great job again. Salute to him for being aggressive, for going all in, but making it look balanced all at the same time. Like it's effortless when you know what you're doing. So
I think it's gonna be a big day tomorrow for the Falcons, because they got
I can see that.
I think a lot of the moves that we've been expecting, I think we're going to see it tomorrow. So
I think that Khalil Mack news comes early in the morning.
that'll be beautiful.
that'll be beautiful. That'll make my day. Yeah, man. All right, boys. Like you said, it's about 112, man.
Yeah, man. 112.
Hey, Justin, you already know I got to go to bed.
Oh yeah, man. You gotta go.
We all gotta get out. Hey, man, but I love all these people in here. That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, thank y'all for coming through, showing us love on the late night.
Best underrated fan bases there is, man. I don't care what they say about it.
Yep,
we be out here, and ain't no bandwagon for no Falcon fan. I don't care what
you ain't lying. Hey, you're a Falcon fan. You're a real Falcon fan. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But that's the show for tonight, man. Thank y'all in the chat for coming through. Like we always do, man. Tell everybody where to find y'all.
All right. Like you said, we know today is the new league year at 4 p.m.
4 o'clock.
So you definitely can catch me. I'll be going live again. Talk about, you know, everything that transpired and see where the Falcons take us next. So that's what I definitely be getting to. I still doing my draft series, linebackers next. Still got to you know, do some other positions, but be on the lookout for that as well. Recondo, real Falcon fan.
Yes, you already know. A1 Forever Sports, the platform on YouTube. Please check your boy out, man. We be cooler. Oh, excuse me, the show that's cooler and fly too. And we be generational because it's always time to be, and we don't settle for less because you can always have more as long as you keep that vision, you dig? And you can, like I said again, you can catch me, Smitty, Berto. You know we're going to have some content coming for you very, very soon, as we are the 95 North Sports Machine forever. I always thank you guys. Thank you, Smitty. Thank you, Condo. Thank you, Chat, for always coming in and supporting us and supporting what we do, and that is to try to give you the best examples, the best analysis, the best explanations that we possibly can as far as this Falcons franchise and representing the logo.
But like we always rock out, man, like Recondo said, the news gonna keep coming, so we gonna keep dropping videos. So Y'all gonna get tired of seeing us and them, trust me, but y'all gonna get the best information y'all can from the content creators of the Atlanta Falcons. But that's our show for tonight, man. We've been up an hour and 20 minutes. I'm about to fall on my face while I'm sitting here. So
I don't do that. Don't do that.
I'll holler at y'all later, man. Peace.
All right.
Out.